Hello, everybody. My name is Jesus Martinez. I'm an immigration attorney. And today I want to talk to you about what kind of evidence is needed for an asylum case. This information applies to immigration court. Asylum is a little bit different whether you apply in immigration court or with the asylum office. The law is still the same, but the person that is analyzing your case is different. In immigration court, it's a judge. With the asylum office, it's an asylum officer who doesn't necessarily have to be an attorney or have to be a judge. So there are differences. The evidence that you need depends on what kind of claim for asylum you have. There is no law that states you must have this specific type of evidence in order to win asylum. You must have this specific document. That doesn't exist. What exists is that you have the requirements for asylum, and then you have to prove your case. You have to make an argument that shows that you are deserving of asylum. I have another video discussing what the requirements are for asylum, the law that you must prove in order to win asylum. I will link it to this video. Going back to the evidence, let's say that you were beaten up and you're saying that I was beaten up because I belong to this specific religion, or I was beaten up because I have this political opinion. Evidence that would assist your case is evidence that supports you were beaten up. For instance, if you got bruises, if you had a black eye, if you had to go to the hospital, that evidence would be helpful. For instance, if you have a photo showing that this is an injury you suffered, if there was any sort of video that somebody took showing that the incident did occur, if there are medical documents showing that, look, on this day I was admitted and these were the injuries I suffered, that is all helpful to your case because it shows the judge or the officer that what you're saying is true. There are people unassociated with your case that are attesting to that. Basically, it's just showing that there's more than just testimony. There's also evidence that supports what you're saying. It makes you truthful, and it also supports your case because it shows the judge that this actually did happen. Sometimes, however, the evidence may not be available. For instance, oftentimes the first thing people think when they are fleeing their country isn't, let me get all my evidence, let me get all the things that prove my case, and once I have that, let me flee my country. Most often it's, I gotta get out of here because if I don't, they're gonna kill me. If I don't, they're gonna harm me, and I don't want that to happen. My papers, my documents are not as important right now. What's most important is my life. Judges and officers are aware of this. As I was stating, there is no specific requirement you need to have. That being the case, there may be some times where the only evidence, the direct evidence you have to your case is just your testimony, a declaration, things like that. Maybe a witness account from somebody else and they write a declaration. At times, that may be what you have, and that's fine. What the law does state is that if a person is found credible, if what they're saying is true, their story from the beginning, the middle, and to the end has been consistent, then that is all positive. And if your testimony, it supports one of the reasons to grant asylum, that can be enough. It depends a lot as well on your judge or your officer. Some judges or some officers may be persuaded by your testimony. They may be persuaded by your testimony, by your declaration, and for them it may not be, they may not feel that they need to hear anything more, that they trust what you're saying, and that may be enough. For others, they may want more. They may want more direct proof, like medical documents, police reports. Although it's not required, different officers, different judges have different perspectives. In addition, a lot of the evidence you do have is country conditions. It's general evidence that applies to the country. It applies to people generally. That evidence is also acceptable, and it also helps paint the picture for people in that country. So some of these country conditions may state how women are being treated, and this is nationwide. That being the case, if your case was one where you've been the victim of violence, you are a woman, then those country conditions would support your case. Although it's not specific to you, it's still helpful because if this is happening nationwide, it's that more believable that if one person is suffering it and it's happening nationwide, then this is something that could happen. This is likely something that did happen, and that would also help your case. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments below. If you would like for me to do a specific topic on immigration, please let me know as well. Thank you. God bless.